next step is for us to install this UV filter. This is a custom-made UV that we have. It's like a free-flowing UV. We can move in water at a fast pace. It slows down, it gets into the big body, and then we run it through a smaller port on the way out. The cool thing about this filter is we want to bring in water from this end and send it out this way. We can do it with a 3-inch straight in. We can bush it down to 2 inches with a fitting. If I could get it off of here. So we can come down to 2 inches here. We have a union on this side because whatever I do, I want to be able to take the union and pull it off if I want to take this off for servicing. Since this UV comes open-ended like that, it gives us the freedom to make any adjustments in our installation. So it's real easy for us to install. So we will be using a 3-inch elbow. One thing I do want to talk about with UV technology is there's a couple schools of thought. Some people like to put the UV before the filter, and some schools of thought it's put the UV after the filter. I particularly, I like putting the UV after the filter. On this particular unit, on any UV unit, I want you to know that there's air that's traveling in with the water. So what you don't want to do is lay that UV installed like this, because you could get an air pocket in here. So you'll have less contact with the light and the water, and you get that air bubble in there. It could be bad for the UV. You could even burn out the quart sleeve and crack it if you get enough air in there. So we always want to have a release. So if I did it like this, then air could work its way out if I tilted it up just a little bit. On this particular installation, we're actually going to install it vertically. So it's going to be sticking up like this. And then all the air can escape out the top. And then we'll do a little loop around and we'll send it back down low, back to the jet. So the first step of order of business is we're going to reduce it down to 2-inch, and we're going to line this up and get this installed like so. Actually, I'm going to turn it a little bit. At an angle like this. And then I'll get a sweeping elbow and we'll head back down like this, like so. Okay? The cool thing about this particular unit, there's a custom-made clear end cap right here, so you'll see the glow of the UV light at this end, and you can tell if it's working or not. So I'm going to go ahead and rough this in, and then we'll glue it together. So there are some schools of thought where the UV should be installed in the system. Let's cover that. Some people like to put it before the filter, and some people like to put it after the filter. The thought process is, if you put the UV before the filter, you kill the algae, the cells on the algae, and the algae coagulates together and sticks together and can get captured inside of the filter. The other school of thought is to install it after the filter, so you can capture as much particulate as possible before it gets to the UV. So you have really clear water, not necessarily clean water yet, but clear water. And then the clear water has more dwell time with the light, and in turn it touches the algae better because there's no particulates in there for it to bounce off of. So I particularly like to install it after the fact. I like to get all the particulates out of the water, send it through the UV, a nice slow flow rate, get it back to the pond. If your pond's green and you're looking to UV to solve the problem of the green water, it usually takes about a week, maybe 3 to 5 days, maybe 7 days before the water turns crystal clear again. So it's my belief that the coagulation of the cells of the algae takes a little bit of time, and it's not like a one-time through the filter. I've seen UVs installed in systems where there's not great pre-filtration, and a rock might come through, or some sand or something gritty, and it could scratch the quart sleeve or break the quart sleeve even worse, causing a problem. So that's one of the reasons why I like to install my UVs after the filter. But I think it's kind of sixes. I don't think it's really critical one way or the other. Because if you're doing a good job of pre-filtration before the filter, you can put the UV before the filter. Okay, UV's installed, and that's good. It's good right now, it's holding itself up, but once water gets in it, it's gonna be heavy, so we will need to, as I said, stabilize it. But here's my tie-in back to the jet. I gotta go ahead and make this cut. All right. All right, that's ready for my tie-in. This is gonna go back to the jet. So I'll throw this right here, and then we're about ready for some tie-ins. This is the quart sleeve. When installing, I usually don't have anything inside of here when I'm doing the installation, in case I drop it, something like that. So I wait till it's up on the wall, and then I can get it installed. There's the UV bulb.